Jerusalem, the holy city of the prophets. I have visited many places around the world, but of all the cities in this world, Jerusalem has a unique smell. It is the smell of the desert, dry and musty, silent, akin to the antiquity of an Egyptian pharaoh's tomb. But there is so much more. Subtle as the most carefully crafted perfume, the smell of water kissing limestone, the smell of the oasis, camels and dates. There is the smell of massed humanity mingling with the smell of the sacred, the smell of myrrh, coloured with the smell of freshly baked bread, the smell of balsam, cassia, cinnamon, almonds, mint, and spikenard. Its recall arouses within me an emotion of aching yearning, of desire, of remembrance, a clenched hunger of the soul. Travelling east from Jerusalem into the dusty dunes of the Judean desert, an encounter takes place. I see something merrily glinting in the sun against the stark whiteness of the powdery desert. Walking over to it, I bend down and pick it up. A brass 76mm cartridge case. I look at the base of the cartridge case in disbelief. There is stamped the year of manufacture, the batch number, and my own company's manufacturing logo. This is the industry of death. Lord have mercy. The tangled emotions of a burning bush with a blindness, on the road to Damascus and a broken heart. These are all the ingredients for leaving behind old days, and a new journey begins. Back in Jerusalem, back in the Holy Sepulchre, and to the celebration of Holy Mass, the Eucharist. With me at this holiest moment, a young couple from a faraway oceanic island. And earnest desire is expressed, the desire that springs from hunger, and unthinking, without judging, I extend an invitation. Come with me. This now becomes a time and a place where all the yearning, the desire, and the remembrance come together in the entwining of hearts. No, there's no careful preparation, no notion of any worthiness or unworthiness, only the hunger, the hot tears of gratitude. This is true thanksgiving. First comes love. Perhaps you've heard the story of the prodigal son so many times that it's lost its impact. All that the prodigal son brings back to the father is that acknowledgement of not being worthy, and of course his great hunger. This hunger is at the heart of the son's return to the father. The scribes and the Pharisees were scandalized at Jesus because he ate and drank with those who were unprepared according to the law, those who were unworthy. The older brother also was scandalized at the extravagance and the gifts bestowed by the father on his most unworthy prodigal brother. How often do we as leaders, as community, turn away from God's feast, those we consider unprepared, those whom we judge as unworthy? There is so much emptiness, spiritual hunger, and so many broken hearts around us. Perhaps we also, like the scribes and the Pharisees and the older son, have forgotten that all that is required is an acknowledgement of unworthiness, our emptiness, and a pang of great hunger for this food at the feast of God. It is God who provides the feast. It is God who raises the fallen, the hungry, the broken-hearted, and it is God who gives God's self through the heart of Jesus to us in the Eucharist. This is gift love that comes first, love that changes everything. Like the scribes and the Pharisees, we have added so many heavy burdens, so many doctrines, so many dogmas, so much law, so much control, so many disputes, and so many exclusions. Yet it is not from Jesus that we learn of any exclusions from the table of the Lord, but it all begins in Acts of the Apostles. It seems good to the Holy Spirit and to us not to burden you with anything beyond these essential requirements. You must abstain from food sacrificed to idols, from blood, from the meat of strangled animals, and from sexual immorality. You will do well to avoid these things. From these first beginnings we have piled law upon law, so that charity has become secondary, almost an afterthought. Have we become so wise in our own eyes that we have become gatekeepers to this wonderful gift of love? Perhaps we have forgotten that it is Jesus who satisfies our hungry soul. If we have lost our trust in love, we no longer trust Jesus to do what he has promised. When last have I invited someone to come with me to Jesus, to taste and see that the Lord is good, to experience compassion, mercy, and forgiveness? Lord, as you will, Lord, as you know, have mercy, have mercy. The Lord grant you peace.